Hey, my name's Andy Barninger. I'm from Myotrend, and today I'm going to bring you a chocolate pecan muffin. So with our first step, what we need to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Our next step, and it's pretty basic, is to grab our mixer. If you don't have a mixer, it's okay. You can use a hand whisk or even a handheld blender to mix everything that we have here. However, we're just going to throw everything to a bowl, blend it all together, throw it into our muffin tin, pop it in the oven, and then we're going to come back, check it out, and see how it went. To begin, we're going to grab our mixer, and for this, we're actually going to use a whisk attachment. So the first step is going to be, once we have it attached here, is going to be to add half a cup of all-purpose flour. We'll actually pull this attachment off first to make it easier. Half cup of coconut flour. One half cup of erythritol. Our next ingredient is going to be 1 teaspoon of baking powder mixed with about half a teaspoon of salt. So we're going to throw all that in there. Reattach our whisk. Lock our mixer down. Then just put it on low speed. And what we're doing here is we're actually just kind of get everything mixed together, break up all the clumps, get that baking powder nice and mixed in there. And then when we're done with this, we're going to let it mix for about a minute or two. When we're done with this, we're going to come back and we're going to add the rest of our wet ingredients, and then we're going to get the muffins in the oven. The dry ingredients all blended together, all whisked together. And if you don't have a KitchenAid mixer like this, you can actually take a sifter or just throw all the ingredients in a bowl and take a whisk and whisk it all together. However, our next step is going to be to add our cashew milk. So with the cashew milk, we're using about 1 cup to 1 1/4 cups. It really depends on what type of coconut flour you're using, because the coconut flour is what we call hygroscopic, where it absorbs moisture. And from my experience, some coconut flours absorb more moisture than others. So with this one, I'm using just a general basic coconut flour you can find on Amazon. But with this one, I used about 1.25 cups of cashew milk, and that's just to make sure that it doesn't get too dry. So once the cashew milk is in there, we're going to add 3 eggs. So after we've added our eggs, our next 3 ingredients are going to be 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're just going to place that into the bowl, set this off to the side, reattach our whisk attachment, bring it down, lock it into place. And you want to start on low when you add these wet ingredients in there, because you don't want it to fly everywhere. So once it starts to get nicely homogenized, you can turn it up just to make sure everything is whisked together nicely. So we're going to start. So once our wet ingredients are fully mixed into our batter, we're going to grab it, and that's our final batter. You may see that you need to wipe down the sides a little bit more, but you really don't want to, once you add the wet ingredients, you really don't want to mix it any longer than about 3 to 4 minutes, because the flour that we added to it will start to get too tough, and then the final product will be kind of, it's called tunneling, but you'll see holes in the actual muffin itself. So you don't want to mix this too long, or it's going to be too tough and cause a final product that isn't smooth and soft. So wipe down our sides, fold everything together to make sure that all the ingredients are nicely homogenized. And then the best part, we have 1/4 cup of chocolate chips here, and about half a cup of pecans that we've then chopped. So it's about 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. So we're actually going to take these, pour them in, stir them into our batter. So once that's done, set this aside. We're going to take our muffin tin and just coat the inside of all of the wells. And now we're going to fill up each well with our batter. So once we have our muffin tin coated, we're going to grab a spoon and fill each one of these wells up about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way, and basically use all of our batter. And this recipe should make about 12 muffins. So now that our muffins are nicely in our muffin tin, we're going to take it out of the oven and we're going to bake it for about 14 to 17 minutes. So, as you can see, nice, they're soft, the chocolate is melty, they look delicious. The thing with coconut flour is it normally makes things very dry. But since we blended the coconut flour and the regular flour in here, it kind of kept a lot of the moisture, and the addition of the eggs and the coconut oil really helped with that as well. But overall, one of my favorite recipes. Super good, super macro friendly. It's a lower carb recipe. Give it a try and let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. My name is Barninger. You can find me at The Performance Chef. Stay tuned for more content from Myotrend.